Welcome to your weekly community service show, Your Business Matters, with Pallavi Ahluwalia of Ahluwalia Law Offices. Tune into their show between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Wednesday on 104.9 FM and ask her all your legal questions. Ms. Ahluwalia owns and operates Ahluwalia Law Offices PC. She received her law degree in 1996 from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and also has a graduate degree in English Literature and Master of Philosophy in English Literature from the University of Punjab, Chandigarh in India. Ms. Ahluwalia is also a certified mediator and has served as an appointed mediator for Collin County Courts. In addition to regularly volunteering at legal aid clinics hosted by the Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, Ms. Ahluwalia serves as a legal advisor to Chetna, a non-profit organization working on issues related to domestic violence. She also spearheaded and participated in the inaugural annual legal aid clinic that was held to benefit the underprivileged South Asian community. Ms. Ahluwalia also served on the North American South Asian Bar Association's Executive Committee and is the founding player. Ms. Ahluwalia is also a certified mediator and has served as an appointed mediator for Collin County Courts. In addition to regularly volunteering at legal aid clinics hosted by the Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, Ms. Ahluwalia serves as a legal advisor to Chetna, a non-profit organization working on issues related to domestic violence. She also spearheaded and participated in the inaugural annual legal aid clinic that was held to benefit the underprivileged South Asian community. Ms. Ahluwalia also served on the North American South Asian Bar Association's Executive Committee and is the founding president of the South Asian Bar Association of Dallas. Her speaking engagements have included being the speaker at the National South Asian Bar Association's annual conference, speaking at the conference held by the Texas chapter of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and a presenter to the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce activities. She has been featured in Texas Lawyer magazine for an article on law firm ethics. Ms. Ahluwalia speaks English, Hindi, Urdu and Spanish. Her office handles cases involving immigration and naturalization law, family law, business law, contract law and civil litigation. She can be contacted directly at 972-361-0606 or pallavi@yourdesilawyer.com. The content of this radio program is made available by Ahluwalia Law Offices PC for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. The transmission and receipt of information contained in this program does not form or constitute an attorney-client relationship. Anyone receiving any part of information on this radio show should not act upon the information without seeking professional legal counsel. For best results, consult an attorney in person.
Well, let's talk to Miss Pallavi Ahluwalia now. Good morning, Miss Pallavi. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Indu. How are you doing today? Thank you for hosting me this Wednesday morning. And we are here right before 11 ended, but we're starting out after 11. So let's start taking our callers. I know we have had them patiently waiting for us. So let's start taking the first call.
Hey, good morning. You're live on the air. Your question for Miss Pallavi, please. Hello, good morning. Live on the air.
Good morning. My question for Ms. Ahluwalia is, I'm currently on H-1B into the 8th year in US with the same employer.
Okay.
My employer filed my green card about 4 years back. The labor got denied and it's sitting in the appeal for last 4 years. No movement yet. When I checked with my immigration lawyers, they said that they cannot really do anything about the same labor. The only option I have is to wait. Now, in order to make some movement, I was just looking for my options, like, is it okay if I switch my employer from A to B right now at this point? Because currently my H1 and my I-94, based on my current appeal, which is pending at Balka, I've got it till 2017 of August.
Okay.
So I still have 12 more months to go with my current H1. Can I switch an employer at this point? And if my employer is ready to file a labor immediately, is it a wise decision? That's one question. And secondly, if at all my current employer pulls out the existing labor on the basis of which I got my I-94 extended beyond 7 years, would that cause any issue with the H1, which I've already got till 2017? So these are my two questions.
Surely, absolutely. So the first call that I would say that while this appeal was pending, it's very, very seldom that the Balka appeals come out in the favor of the company or the labor certification, it usually they uphold unless there was really an egregious error that was made by the certifying officer at the labor stage. So the suggestion that we make to people is that if you have something that's gotten denied and you have to appeal it just so that you could get your 8th year extension or just go past your on your H1B, then there has to be an alternate plan where the company can perhaps either, if they are able to offer a different position in the future, which needs to be filed. So if it's the same position that they file, of course, then the government at some point are going to come back and ask you that you have a labor that is pending. So the plan of action that should be followed is to have an alternate plan just created as soon as there is a denial. That's the rule that we follow. Now, where you're saying that you want to be able to move to another employer, yes, you can. And yes, that concern that you have, that if your employer A were to pull that labor certification or the appeal out from BALCA, then it will leave you no option. That is a correct assumption. So the suggestion that I would have in that regard is that use that pending appeal to transfer, get the approval on the H1B, so as in do not just transfer and just move based on the receipt, get an approval prior to transferring, and even if they were to come back and withdraw it, then the H1B does not get withdrawn automatically. There is not any action that happens after it's been approved once that labor is withdrawn. That's not what we've seen in practice at any point. Now, the third suggestion that I have here is that it's important that this be done quickly, whether it's employer A or B, whoever is pursuing that second labor for you, because at this point, the labor certification, the PERM Atlanta Processing Center is processing PERMs in about 2 to 3 months, so they're really going fast right now. So it's a good time to be able to get on to the recruitment, which takes about 60 days, and if there is some current recruitment with an employer, then jump on board there and get in line, because this is a good time to get your PERM approved.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you very much. And one more thing, is there any follow-up which I can do for my previous labor appeal which is pending?
No, you'd rather not. Yeah, don't rock the boat. It's not going to get approved. And there is not anything that you can do. This is an employer-centered process. It is something that belongs to the employer to find out. But even when it goes to BALCA, even the employer does not have ability to call and ask questions there, because it's just pending a review.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Your question for Miss Palvi, please. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Sorry, somehow your calls are disconnected. Please call back. Good morning, you're live on the air. Hello, good morning, you're live on the air. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. I apologize. Your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please.
Hi, good morning again. Thank you very much to give me the opportunity to talk with the attorney. My question is, I have recently approved the H1B. My question is that after October 1, do I need to wait a certain period for green card application?
Yeah, so
Number one.
okay, so just a second. I think your voice is muffled a little bit. So if you could just either be clearer or maybe you remove me from the speaker.
Now?
Yeah, a little better. Yes, go ahead, please. So you said that you
the
have.
first question is, do I need to wait after 1st of October for the green card application? And secondly, I'm a British citizen, so do I need to go for stamping England? I'm here legally as well, or I can go neighbor country like Canada or Mexico, anywhere else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the answer to the first question is, if you're currently maintaining a valid status and you're working for that employer, the employer is able to start off a green card process. It does not depend on whether you take the H1B on or not. If you have the H1B approved, that is on the 1st of October, there should not be a problem, because it's just going to take 2 months for the employer first to set up recruitment for the PERM and then to be able to file. So by the time they get to file, It just may be past October, but even if you were to have current recruitment and you were to file, say, next week, there is nothing prohibiting you from doing that even if you're on a student visa right now, because the labor does not constitute immigrant intent. The immigrant intent does not come in till the I-140 stage, which is still a little bit away. And recently, by some decisions of the government, the immigrant intent is shown more when the 485 is filed. So that's the answer for that. Now, your second question is that whether you can step out for stamping and do you have to go back to your country of citizenship. That is the rule. Home country is always your first time stamping, because that's where the degrees and everything can be authenticated. However, on a discretionary basis, Mexico or Canada can both see you. So if they were to admit your case, as in the DS 160, but they were to put you in administrative review, then you would be forced to either go back to your home country and wait there, or you'll have to wait it out. That's the only concern that happens for the first time stamping.
Thank you so much. And finally, as a British citizen, how long we have to wait for green card?
Yeah, so it is your country of birth is which country?
Bangladesh.
Okay, so it's the country of birth that decides the weight in the visa bulletin. It is not the country of citizenship. Okay, the country of citizenship gives you non-immigrant options that are different options, but the country of birth is what decides that. Now, if you have do you have a master's degree?
Yes.
Okay, so with a master's degree, you're mostly in a current category with Bangladesh also, the country of birth. For these next 2 months, which is August and September, the visa bulletin is not current for the rest of the world for EB2 category. Otherwise, by October, it will be. So I would say that the category that you're in currently does, if it's EB2 and you're born in Bangladesh, you can't get into a faster line by being British. It's the same for everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good morning. You live on the air. Your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please.
Do you have any input on 140 EAD for Indians?
Yeah, at this time, none. So the proposal that the government had come out with, and this was at the end of the year last year, and that was to give the EAD, but they gave it with conditions, and the conditions that they gave it with was that if you were to take that on, it was going to be given on some extreme hardship kind of principles if there was something that was going on. But if you were to choose that and you give up your H-1B, then it leaves you no option to be able to pursue your green card legally. So it's almost like a no option. There is that announcement, but it is not helpful to anyone that wants to maintain status and get the I-140 based EAD. It is just done on a discretionary review basis.
One more thing, Ahluwalia, I heard I am with the current employer since 10 years, and my 140 approved in 2009. So if I get new opportunity, can I change employer with the same EAD, 140, sorry?
Yeah, so you can. So if you're, again, another announcement, another law that was announced, a regulation that was announced that's not been finalized, and that says that as long as your I-140 was approved for over 6 months, you can port it. You can port the priority date, and you can use it for the purpose of an extension. My suggestion...
Is it the place?
I'm sorry?
Already approved?
Yes, so you said it was approved in 2009, correct? So it's been approved for...
No, I'm saying my 140 is approved, but I'm saying the law, whatever the amendment...
Yes, no, it is still it's a pending regulation. So it was a proposed regulation, which still is waiting some final comments. Final comments were due in the beginning of March, end of February, and after that, the final publication of that rule, the federal regulation is still not out. We're keeping up with it, so if there is, I will announce it here also. But the suggestion that I have in this regard is that if you were to use your I-140 approval to move to another employer, you get your 3 years, get that approved prior to making your move.
Oh, okay.
Because if you because if you were to just move and the employer were to withdraw the I-140, then you have no recourse. So but at this point, just on an ad hoc basis, the government is giving you the priority date from before. So you will still have to go through a perm and the I-140 approval at your next employer, you'll have to do that, but you will request the recapture of the priority date of the 2009 approval.
Okay, Ahluwalia, thank you so much. Other question, like last question, like any thing, like can I expect any date movement in EV to India category?
Well, right now it's really bad, right? It's gone back, 12 years? It's not...
Any predictions from your point of view?
Well, so October 1st always comes with...
It seems like many years, so like any, based on your experience?
Yeah, well, so this is just a backlog because currently the government is counting the individuals as well as their family members against the available numbers, which is the wrong math that they've been using forever. So if they were to, and there is this activist organization called Immigration Voice that's involved in trying to get the government to separate it out, get involved, do something like that, that would at least better your chances of getting the green card. But in terms of a prediction, October 1st should move some dates, but let's see how much they move.
What your bar side, you are doing anything that improve our, like, backlogs or Indians? I know you are doing this business with mainly immigrants, so do you have any thing you...
Yeah, so I suggest being involved.
Yeah, it's like making us better, or like processes should be better, something like that.
Yeah, that's the reason we're involved. Yeah, sir, would you just... I can finish 1 second.
From your side, you're doing any good things, like any suggestions from our side, like...
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Yeah. You have to get involved, be involved with Immigration Voice, which is what we are doing too.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your call. You are tuned to Your Business Matters with Ms. Pallavi Ahluwalia of Ahluwalia Law Offices. Just in case if you can't get through today, you're always welcome to visit the website yourdesilaw.com, or you can contact them via email. That's frontdesk@ahluwalialaw.com. Good morning. Your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question for my sister. I filed September 2004 for my sister 130 petition. I know how long it takes this process.
Okay, so you've applied for your sister. Which country are you from, sir?
Pakistan.
Okay, so currently the people that are getting their green cards are the ones that had applied in September 15th of 2003. Okay, so
no.
you said you had applied in 2004, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so roughly about a year.
1 year more?
Yes, a year and a half.
Well, I called a week ago, customer service, visa center. They told me different. I'm confused. That's why I called here.
Yeah. So the customer service representatives that you speak to at the USCIS are not equipped to be able to read the visa bulletin. So go on and just, if you are able to, just pull up the August 2016 visa bulletin, and when you do pull that up, you'll be able to see the final action dates for F4 category. And when you go to the F4 category, you'll see for Pakistan as well as for the rest of the world, the dates are September 15th of 2003.
I applied for blood relation, brother and sister, I-30. Is the same thing, F4?
Yeah, that is F4. That is a sibling category.
They told me last week that this starting now is June 2004.
Yeah, that is, so the June 2004 is if somebody's in the country and they have to apply for an adjustment of status. However, that is a suggested thing that the Department of State releases, and a few weeks after that, the USCIS releases another list. And at this time, USCIS has released a list saying that you cannot apply because you have to go by what is the final action dates. So it is that. It is the date that I gave you, which is September 15th of 2003.
Now they're doing the 2003, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you for your call, sir. Good morning. You're live on the air. Your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please.
Yes, ma'am. I applied for my sister and brother. When I applied, that time she have only 2 kids. Okay. And after I applied, and she have one more baby born after 1 year. So, in this case, what should we do?
Yeah, so at the time that the category gets current, that's when you will ask National Visa Center to issue more fee bills related to the birth of the new baby. So is the I-130 already approved or not yet?
I applied at 2005, and I went immigration at Dallas, and they say is processing now 2003. I did not ask about that baby. I did not add it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I-130.
Yeah, so that has to be added at the time of the National Visa Center. At this point, you could have added it. But see, the I-130 should have been approved. You should have an approval notice of the I-130 at least. The Visa Bulletin dictates the second step of the process, which is the National Visa Center. Okay?
Okay, so what should I do now?
At this point, nothing. Once you get an email from the National Visa Center, once those dates get current, and that will take another 2.5 years or so, that's when you bring to their attention that you want one more fee bill to pay, because there is an additional member of the family which will also be eligible for that visa.
Oh, so if I contact now and let them know Visa Center that,
No, at that time they don't have your file. They will not have your file till the date gets to be current.
Oh, so if when the file coming is going to be take another 2 more years?
Correct, because right now on the Visa Bulletin date, it is September 15th of 2003.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please. Hello, good morning. Your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question that I applied for my brother. He was in India and now he has moved to London. How do I process that? Do I have to inform Visa Center about that, or what do I do about that?
At this time, you do not have to do anything, and the time that the second step is done, which is going to be, again, we've been talking about the Visa Bulletin a lot just now in the last 3-4 callers, once that date gets current and you are processing the NVC paperwork, which is the DS-260 forms, that's when the dates of or the residence that you have, which may be at that time, whether it is another country or it's back again another place, that's when it has to be updated, not right now.
Oh, thank you so much. I also have one more question, is that my dad is visiting me here in US. He's on visit visa. Can he apply for a London, United Kingdom visa from here?
Can he apply for the UK visa? He could try. I mean, a lot of times it is required that you go to the home country to make applications. Now the requirements for England's immigration visit visa is not something that we have handy here, but of course if you check the requirements and he's meeting it, they may just interview him. And also one more thing is that if he has a visa to the US, more than likely London will be kinder even when he's doing it from here. And that's just an opinion, but the procedure has to be picked up from the rules of England's visit visa. Those are not similar to the US.
Thank you so much for your help.
Okay, thank you. You have 2 minutes. So your question for Ms. Ahluwalia, please.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Actually, we want to apply for U.S. citizenship. We are eligible for quite some time. I just want to know how long it takes, once you file the application nowadays. And second thing is, during the application process, say if you want to go to India, for some time, would that be okay, or there are some compulsions around it?
Yeah, so as long as you attend to the fingerprinting and whatever the interview that comes up, whatever the formalities that the USCIS requires, you should be able to travel. There's not any restriction per se after you file your application. It takes about 4 to 5 months currently. It can take up to 8 months too. Indu tells me I'm out of time, but I think that should answer both your questions.
Yeah, just quick one is, how soon, I mean, after the fingerprinting and say, it's about to be approved, can I still visit on Indian passport, come back and then get the oath, etc.?
Well, if you do that, it takes you out of the queue, and then you get reset, and then you'll be running after them to do the oath ceremony. So it's important that if you have any travel plans, take care of them prior. If you do it later, then you're going to just cause yourself an administrative nightmare to keep on asking them to reschedule your oath ceremony.
Okay, thank you so much for everybody's call, and thank you, Ms. Ahluwalia, for coming to the studio. And if you have any question, you're welcome to email them at frontdesk@ahluwalialaw.com.